This is about as specific as I could get to grappling right here. These guys who are doing the Zerchers, this is, the biggest portion of the workout for them. This is what their focus is. If you cannot progress your athletes in either weight or intensity over time, you're spinning their wheels and you're not doing shit for them. Hey everybody, the fighters are back in the gym. So I'm strength coaching them, and there's a few key concepts that I want to share with you guys, whether you yourself practice martial arts or you just want to gain some knowledge around just general strength training, maybe for more athletic prowess than just physical stature or bodybuilding purposes.
Yeah, buddy!
All right, so first I want to talk about the guys that I'm working with, that I'm incredibly lucky to work with, and we have a nice little system. I help them with their strength training, and they help me with my dog jiu-jitsu. So first and foremost, we have Rodrigo Cabral, who's actually not in the video today, but I work with him on strength training as well. He is a 5th degree black belt, used to be a very competitive grappler in the gi, straight out of Brazil. And I think he's actually going to do Masters Worlds in the black belt division. Not sure what weight class, but he is a tremendous grappler, like incredibly well-rounded. And he runs the gym that I'm at. So all jiu-jitsu knowledge of the guys that I'm about to talk about and myself really comes from him at the top. After that, we've got William Tackett, who just came off of winning the ADCC trials. And for those of you that don't know, ADCC is like the Olympics of grappling, and it happens once every 2 years. It's the premier tournament of grapplers around the world. So you have a trials, and in this trials there were over like 1,000 competitors or something crazy like that. And William had 200 competitors in his bracket, and he won that. So with all these guys, we're getting them back in the gym, and I'll talk more about that later. But with William, he really had to focus on his camp and grappling and specifically training and cutting weight. So we didn't really get to do much strength training in that time. After that, we have Andrew Tackett, William's brother. Andrew is the purple belt world champion. He's been, successful around grappling. He is an absolute rising star, a total savage on the mats. And then we have baby Tackett, Caleb Tackett, who's 14 years old, who also did trials. All three of them did trials. I think Andrew made it to the semifinals, but baby Tackett, who is 14 years old, I think he had a first round victory in his bracket. So this is a 14-year-old child beating an adult black belt male. This kid will be absolutely a savage when he grows up. After that, we have Cody Steele. So Cody Steele is a tremendous grappler in his own right. He's, in his weight class, he's always been at the top competitive grappler who switched over to MMA. He is undefeated as an amateur and undefeated in both of his professional fights in MMA. Right now, he is injured. He's got a right knee injury, so we're working around that, but we're getting him back in the gym because, he's got to be able to do something. Right now, he can't do any striking, can't do any rolling or anything like that. Also, we have Davis Cole, who is a teacher as well at the gym. He is a brown belt. He also competed at ADCC trials, and he's definitely an expert in Muay Thai. He went over to Thailand and studied with some of the best in the world. So I'm incredibly grateful to be working with such tremendous athletes, and I want to share with you guys, like I said, the concepts that I use to get them back into training. So the first thing we're going to look at here is this position William's in is a really awkward position. It's called the Zercher deadlift. So the first key concept here is anatomical adaptation. It is a concept that was created by Tudor Bompa. This book, called Periodization by Tudor Bompa and Carlo A. Buzzicelli. In it, they talk about anatomical adaptation, and it's essentially preparation for future heavier, harder training. And what we're trying to do here with this anatomical adaptation is create stress in the largest range of motion with the lightest weight, limiting rest, and really just preparing the joints, tendons, ligaments, for future heavier lifting. So this is the biggest range of motion possible for a pulling movement. And a lot of you guys are going to say, oh my God, look at all the stress on the low back. That is okay. Spines are meant to move, right? So if we look at this video here, spines are meant to move. And, at no point in time is William feeling injured or anything like that. You can see Andrew over here doing the Zercher deadlifts on the left side. And then what we're going to do is 3 reps of the deadlifts plus 3 reps of the squats. So what my plan is with this is to take them from this movement, add load, and go to what's called a deficit deadlift. So it's going to be less range of motion than the Zercher, and but more range of motion than your typical conventional deadlift. That's going to be them standing on either plates or something to create more of a range of motion. If you could see right here, this paused frame, you can actually see me in the mirror here. William has his hands together. So a very powerful position in grappling, in fighting, is called a body lock position. Essentially, what you try to do is under both of your opponent's arms, you lock your hands together in what can be called a gable grip or an S grip. There's a bunch of different grips you can have, but essentially it's a very powerful grip to be able to manipulate your opponent. And, this is about as specific as I could get to grappling right here. A total body movement wherein we have to control the load. The beauty of this level of specificity is that I can overload this. I do have an issue with specificity in that, we do this one move in grappling, so what we're going to do is put a band on something and do this move over and over again. Problem is, it's going to be very difficult to overload that, and also, it's so specific to what they do on the mats, you might as well just not really do it. You have to have some general practice, some sort of adaptation that they can't get on the mats. So with this is absolutely something. Okay, this is a barbell. This isn't a human body. We know how it's going to respond, so we know how to dictate the adaptation from it. So, 6 sets of 3 deadlifts into 3 squats, and we did these 1 set every 2 minutes. Let's see. Let's play the video here. So this is Cody right here because he's injured with that. It was a left knee injury. He's doing just a vertical press, seated Arnold press overhead. And I have that paired with pull-ups. So he's just going vertical pulling, vertical pressing. This is baby Tackett right here. Again, this kid's going to be a scary when he gets older. Here is the brown belt. You can see how long he is. His game in jiu-jitsu is much different than you would typically see. So here, the hips are shooting up and he's in such a compensated position. We can't cope the low back so hard to the point where we can't train it. At no point do any of these guys feel any sort of pain or such fatigue that they're compensating. If anything, it feels good. These guys leave the gym after this workout and they're like, man, my low back feels amazing. And they get on the mats and they feel great too. And they're able to, body lock and pass guys and body lock and, throw guys. So you can see as I pan over here, Cody is doing the pull-ups. So he's got pull-ups paired with overhead press. All right, so another concept I want to talk about, guys, is mental acuity. And this is really, really important when you're training athletes that are not gym athletes. They're not strength athletes. You have to keep them mentally sharp. So the more exercises you throw at them and you have to teach them, the more they kind of just turn off, because these guys spend anywhere from 3 to 5 hours on the mats, whether it's drilling or hard training or hard sparring. So I have to give them very, almost like global movements that can get them warm, that can keep them safe. Okay? So my workouts are typically 2 big movements, and usually I will superset those 2 big movements. Today I'm only supersetting Cody. And then these guys who are doing the Zerchers, this is, the biggest portion of the workout for them. This is what their focus is. And it's incredibly light, right? Like William only has 40 kilos and Andrew has 60 over there. That is light. They know that it's light. I'm making it light because this is their first day back. It's almost, it definitely is frustrating how light this is. But I promise you, once these guys get warm, they're like, oh, I can do this weight, I can do this weight, I can do this weight. And then they feel great, right? Then the next day or the day after that, so 2 days later, they are shot. And now I got to get them back in the gym where they feel sore, they feel dead. Again, that's the mental acuity aspect of it. I cannot have that if I need to train them in 2 days' time. Okay? So this is something that I'm constantly thinking about. You guys are going to watch this and be like, oh my God, there's Zercher deadlifting, 40 kilos and 60 kilos. Like, they might as well not do anything. Well, they're definitely going to get a stimulus from this. And when they are here 4 weeks from now, they're going to be doing a lot more weight. And these things are going to be a lot more intense, but their ability to recover from this is going to be maximized. That's all I care about. So I want you guys to look at, like, this is 14-year-old kid is just, it's crazy, man. So look at his hip position here. Okay? He's able to fold completely over with a relatively straight back. Okay? The amount of tension that he needs to build in his hips and his low back is huge. It doesn't matter the weight on the bar. This range of motion is as big as it's going to get, and it's very, very valuable. And again, this is going to set them up for heavier deadlifts with less range of motion. All of this is to set them to progress. If you cannot progress your athletes in either weight or intensity over time, you're spinning their wheels and you're not doing for them. Okay? After this, they have one more superset and then a final kind of accessory thing after that, and then they're out the door. So I need to maximize what they're able to do when they're able to do it, keeping the mental acuity in check and really getting the most bang for your buck when they get in here. So next superset we have is we have an inverted row paired with, and these guys are going to go vertical, so they have that Arnold press, and then Cody is going to be doing the inverted row, but he will be doing bench press because he's already done the overhead press. So what I'm doing here, so this is Andrew right here, and what we're doing is we're loading the eccentric portion with the plate. Then we take the plate away and pull up. Load with the plate, we get the eccentric loading, and then we pull up. After 3 of those, we get 5 reps normal. And the feet are elevated. So this is a completely horizontal row, a horizontal pulling complex, if you will. So something with this, and I constantly say this with these guys, we need to get their shoulders away from their ears. So what I try to do is say pull low, try to pull towards your nipples rather than pulling up here. If you pull the bar up here, your shoulders come up. In grappling, a lot of times guys have their shoulders rolled up to their neck, they're in this low posture. So I try to mitigate that because that can cause injuries in the weight room. You can see I'm fixing Andrew's technique here on the Arnold press. There we go. We got Cody doing the dumbbell bench press, really lightweight. He knows it's light. I know it's light. Guys, they're just moving here. So we're doing 5 sets of 3 plus 5, so 3 eccentric reps and then 5 regular reps. We're doing 5 sets there, paired with 5 sets of the overhead press for 10 reps. It's very simple stuff, very, very basic stuff. Okay, after this, let's see, we got Baby Tackett. Look at this kid. 14 years old. I don't think you want to mess with this green belt right here. Okay? Then after that 3rd rep, he's going to rep out 5 reps of the inverted row. Pretty cool. Okay, so now after that, it's more just a bro sesh. So you can see here, you got Andrew on, I call this incline push-up because it's technically the same position you would have if you had an incline bench. So the feet are raised and then you're down pressing. So we have like anywhere from 10 to 15 reps here. I kind of let the guys do whatever they want here just to try and get a pump in the chest. This is more of the bodybuilding stuff. So, yep, just trying to grow the chest. We have Davis doing the reps here. I told him to lift his chin while he does this instead of pulling his neck down. Again, always trying to keep the shoulders away from the ears. Baby tack it, showing him how it's done. What else do we have? We have band pull-aparts. So some sort of a back fly. And these guys, their shoulders are so messed up. So I always try to add in something that's going to just help, control their scaps. These reps are very important, neurally, to keep their scaps from just floating around and putting a lot of stress when they have to apply force on the socket of their shoulder. When they can protect themselves and use their scaps and put them in a powerful position, they can use a lot of the larger muscles to apply force. So here we have the band pull-aparts. This is William. And then finally, the third of the superset, you can see Andrew doing the bicep curls here. I just said, guys, do curls. And there's Cody. He's actually looking pretty jacked. He's definitely not as ripped as he is when he has to cut weight. He knows that. That's it. That's the video. I hope you guys got some concepts out of that can really help you out. The main thing being, start off with this idea of anatomical adaptation. We need to create massive, large ranges of motion, things that are simple, that are lightweight, but can create a stimulus so that we can get heavier later on. All of these weights were incredibly light. Secondly, focus on mental acuity. Don't have 11 different exercises when you get into the gym, especially if you're spending a lot of time on the mats. And then finally, you have to aim to overload. You can't just be so specific that it's just like, what are we doing? We're just spinning our wheels. Aim to make adaptation occur, and you will have success going forward in martial arts training. I appreciate you guys watching, and I'll catch you on the next one.